Hi guys, welcome back to another video, or like my first video in like 5 months, because I don't really post long form content since like I get like 10 views on those, but I have to do my annual sketchbook tour because it's just like part of how I have to do things. So on my first page I have these really cute stickers, and I kind of like accumulated really cool stickers like over the years. Like, these are adorable. And then we have my welcome page, which I actually made like halfway through the year, but I don't like doing welcome pages and like closing pages, so this definitely took me a while to actually get around to doing, and I did it like over the summer. And these were like the very beginning of the year. This is a drawing of my Siren OC, and then this was just like a random colored pencil sketch I did. I did not draw that. That was just like a pretty picture I got in like this thing off of Amazon, and I wanted to glue it in because I thought it was cool. And then I made this I made this sketch of a random girl, and then I drew some eyes of my OCs, and I tried sketching my character in pen, but that looked awful. And then I was playing like this board game, and there were different characters in it, and I drew her. I actually like how this turned out. I don't really like my art style from the beginning of the year, but I do like how this drawing turned out. And then that page, nothing was happening there. And then I had this like phase where I was obsessed with Gravity Falls all over again, and I did like a reverse falls drawing. And yep, they're Pacific and Northwest drawing. And then this is my mermaid OC. And then I drew some like settings for like Mermaid Story. I don't have a name for it, and I probably should, because I like just to call it my Mermaid Story. But it's way more like evolved beyond that point. But it's kind of inspired by this house I stayed in over spring break, and it was really pretty. And I just loved all the rooms, so I kind of like redrew them and like gave them different attributes that would like be there because of the characters that are living in the house. Then I made some sketches of like the exterior environment and like the outside of the house and what the house looks like in pen, and then a drawing of the outside of the house. I really like these pages, like they're really cool. And then I made this drawing. I don't really like it that much. I think I did it too big and like used up way too much marker ink on drawing I didn't really like. And then this really random drawing, and every time my friends see it, they're like, her forehead's massive. And I agree, I did make her forehead a little big, but people with big foreheads exist. And I also don't really like this drawing, so just ignore that. And I made it and I hated it, and I tried to color it, and that just like made it a lot worse, so just ignore that. And then I don't really know what I was doing here with the sun or moon. I think it's the moon actually, because it's a nighttime sky. This is an OC I had. I don't really know what her deal is. I kind of forgot like what her backstory was. And then that is glued. I don't like these pages, so just don't look at that. I did some pen sketches. You've probably seen that reference on Pinterest. And then I just did like random little doodles. I was with a YouTuber I like. Kim does it. I love her. Yeah, I just drew random stuff. And then this was like this carrot. Wait, where is this? The girl that this girl. This is supposed to be her boyfriend. I don't know. I've left that whole story in the past. And then I did more drawings of my mermaid OC and her boyfriend. Super cute. And then I like this drawing. Like, I have mixed feelings about the drawings I made at the beginning of the year. Some of them are good and some of them are not. But I think I like this one. And then I made this Ponyo drawing. I think it's a cover-up for something I did not like, but I really love this little Ponyo drawing. And then this was another OC. I made so many OCs that did not go anywhere. And then I did a lot of drawings of hands because I realized, like, I can draw hands now. And I kind of forgot that I could. I, like, thought I still sucked at drawing hands, but when I actually tried drawing them, it did not go that badly. And then I really like drawing lighthouses for some reason, so I did this, like, pen sketch from Pinterest drawing of a lighthouse. And then there was this house I was staying at, and it was right next to a barn. I need to stop turning that because I know that, like, the orientation is this way on YouTube. Yeah, and I did a little drawing. It was fun. And then this was also at the house I was staying at, because, like, in the yard behind there was just, like, this view. I am not the best at drawing backgrounds, if you can't tell, so I usually stylize them, like, a lot. And then this was a drawing I made of, like, a friend of mine. And, like, a water... I made these at school, I think, because, like, we had a sub or something, so and I liked them, so I cut them out and I put them in my sketchbook. And then this is drawing another thing from Pinterest, and then I made this drawing of my friend, who I'm kind of obsessed with drawing. And then I did this pose drawing, because I literally... Oh my god, I can't talk. I literally just have drawings of, like... portraits and no full body. Oh, I missed an entire set of pages right here. I keep on, like, skipping through this when I go through my sketchbook. I really like these pages. This is also that OC that I had, like, the sketches of before. And I really like this one because I got these new, like, acrylic markers and I was just, like, testing them out, and I really like how I did the rendering on the skin. And I don't really draw like that, so I kind of, like, want to do stuff like that more, but I didn't really after this point. But I really like how this one turned out. And then this was my OC Lenla, and I wanted to try a more detailed with, like, the penmanship art style. And I think that turned out nice. This is not very good. I was, like, drawing at this garden I went to, and then I drew my friend again. And I tried to draw my friend, and it turned out really badly, especially because of the eyes. So I just erased the eyes, and now it's just incomplete. But maybe someday I will finish that, because I want to. And I made this, like, I tried out a different style, and I think the style is cute, but I don't know. It's not really how I like to draw. And then I made this drawing of, like, a model on Pinterest, and I did these cute drawings of oranges. I almost said peaches. I need to know my fruits. And then I did these colored pencil drawings of more people from Pinterest. I don't really like this one that much because I feel like her eyes are kind of, like, off. But this one I really like. I made this little drawing of a house, and I did these cucumbers and tomatoes, and I really like this one. I did this drawing off of Pinterest and this one. I literally almost completely draw off of Pinterest because it just has... It has the stuff. I don't like that because this kind of got, like, stuck on here because I had, like, glue here for some reason, and now it's ruined, and I didn't even like it in the first place. I like this one. The eyes are kind of lopsided, so, like, I don't know. But I don't really know if you can erase the pencil I use, so I just didn't try because I didn't want to mess it up. This was another reference from Pinterest, and then this was a self-portrait I did of myself. I did this, like, outline in, like, green, and I don't really like how that turned out, but the drawing's still there, so, like, I don't really care. And then I did some Fullmetal Alchemist fan art. I have so many glued together pages. Wait, I'm sure there's... No. Wait, maybe. Yes, okay. I did this drawing of my friend's OC that I liked, and I also drew my mermaid OC again. I'm really bad at drawing backgrounds, but I drew this picture of this lake at my sleepaway camp, and then I made this drawing of a counselor at my sleepaway camp and of my friend from my sleepaway camp. I made another drawing of my OC. I'm just gonna say her name is Clara. I should be, like, referring to my OCs as their names. Like, the mermaid is named Tula and her name is Clara, because I have a lot of drawings. Yeah, right here. That's the mermaid one. That's the whatever, I don't remember her story one. Oh, and then that's Alex. I don't even think I have any sketches of her, but she's, like... Oh, wait, actually I have one right here. This is her. No, that's... My friend drew her and I drew her. I don't like how I drew her here, but, like, that is, like, my most worked on story, but I'm so tired of drawing her all the time that I just kind of didn't draw her much in the sketchbook. And then This is a drawing of that mermaid story thing that I do not, I just don't like this drawing. This drawing is not nice. And then me and my friends did like a collaborative drawing where we all kind of just like passed it around and drew different parts of it. And I think it turned out pretty cool. It's definitely not like the normal stuff that I draw in here. But like I did the hand, my friend did the mouth, my other friend did the eye. And then this is a drawing I do not like, so just ignore that. And then I drew some people from life. That's a friend, that's a friend, that's a friend, and that's a counselor from my sleepaway camp. That is a very bad sketch, so ignore that. And then I drew my OC Liz and my friend Alina again. Like I said, I draw her a lot. Yep, here she is again. And then this is an incomplete drawing because I kind of like the way it looked better not finished. Maybe I will finish it someday, but like I thought this was pretty cool. But I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish it. And then I did this drawing of me and my friend's eyes. I'm really proud of this one because I like don't usually use like paint with brushes a lot because I have like acrylic paint markers, but I really like how I like match the colors and stuff, and I think it looks like our eyes. That's mine, that's my friend's. I don't know, it's cute. And then that's another self-portrait of me. And then I did this oil pastel drawing of these two girls based off of something on Pinterest that I thought was really pretty. And then wait, am I missing something? This is another drawing off of Pinterest. I thought this girl was really cool. And then this is a drawing from life. This was super cool because we went like canoeing or kayaking, I don't know the difference, and I was like, my dad was leaving out at the water, and so I drew him, and I really like this. And then that's an incomplete drawing. There are a lot of, actually, well, there's more than I've had in the past, because I used to like want to complete every single drawing in my sketchbook, but I've become less perfectionist about stuff like that. I don't really like this drawing because it's not really my style, so I'm gonna skip that. I really like this thing I did though, like a portrait. I like my pencil drawings most of the time. And then I made this colored pencil drawing, which I really like. Like, I'm very proud of this one. This one I don't like at all, but I put a lot of effort into this one, and I'm proud of how it came out. And then I did these two acrylic paint marker drawings. This one with like the flowers and the girl. I also like this drawing of the girl. And then, oh, okay, check all over my hands. I did this portrait of me, my friend, and my other friend at sleepaway camp. And then I made this drawing of a lighthouse. I'm not going to turn over because it's like really messy, but I really like this like spread. It's cute. And I made this drawing, which was a pretty much replica of a drawing I saw on Pinterest, but it was really pretty and I was inspired. And then this was like a Halloween drawing because, you know, Halloween was happening, so I just drew a witchy lady. And then, come on, please. I drew Pride and Prejudice because that's like such a good movie. It's not my favorite movie, but there's just something about it that I just love so much. And I think I got it wrong because I think he's the pride and she's the prejudice, but I like flipped them around and I did it wrong. But I only realized that after I drew the people, so I couldn't just like say it was called Prejudice and Pride because that's not what it's called. So yeah, if you've watched The Summer Hikaru Died, you know what this is a drawing of, but I love that show and the manga like so much, and I'm really proud of this because I drew like a spread and I think it looks pretty accurate and it's just cool. I really love that show. I finished it yesterday. I was just awestruck by the ending. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it. Oh my god, can this unfreaking stick? Okay. I really like these two pages that much because this was kind of rushed, and I really liked this before I watercolored it, and then I watercolored it and I totally messed it up. So I don't like those that much. Okay, great. Shoot. This, I don't know what kind of like oil pastel I got, but it gets all over my hands and gets everywhere. It's like nightmare stuff. Look, I barely touched it and I got all over my finger. This was also inspired by a really pretty picture on Pinterest that was like gray above the water and then blue. Oh my god. And blue underneath. And I didn't do anything on the other page because I was too lazy. And then I did a lot of drawings over winter break because I needed to finish all these pages before the end of the year. This was a photo I saw on Pinterest, I think. And I think it's pretty. And then I started drawing this like reference photo on Pinterest, but then I kind of like didn't like it, so I turned it into like a partial silhouette, and then I did like this cool background thing with her face here, and I think it looks really cool. I like what I did there. And then I did some Little Miss Sunshine fan art because I love that movie. I think it's my favorite movie right now. And I drew Dwayne, and he's my favorite character. Yeah. And then I did some colored pencil drawings. I really love using colored pencil. Like, I don't do it enough when I'm sketching, but I really like how these two turned out. They were both recreations of drawings on Pinterest because of course they were. This was not, and I didn't like how it turned out because I was like, I'm doing too much stuff based on Pinterest, so I gotta do something that comes from my mind, and I did, and I did not like how it turned out, so sad. This was based off of a photo that I took when I was in Maine, and then this was based off of a photo I took when I was like on a walk with my family, and there was this really cool tree, so I drew it. And then these are two of my OCs fighting. That's Alex. This is like the only drawing I have of her in my entire sketchbook, but that's her. And then I did some more characters for the mermaid story. This is like a mermaid hunter, and this is like some bully dude, and this is like the main guy's mom. And then I did this drawing of this guy on Pinterest and these grapes, and that's it. This is the final page, and I made it like a couple days ago. That's my sketchbook board. Hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe because I'm really trying to hit 1,000. I'm nowhere near that right now, and it's taking me so long to get to where I am now. Like, I've been making videos for like 3 years. Wait, no, like 4 years. Yeah, like 4 years at this point. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm only at like 600 something. Actually, maybe I'm higher than that. I'm not keeping track of this, but it'd be really cool if I could hit 1,000. So thank you for watching. If you got all the way to the end of the video, it means the world to me. And yeah, bye.